What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best entertainment related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. We've talked on the YouTube channel in the past about The Medium, the upcoming psychological horror game that's being developed by Bloober Team. And what I gotta say, guys, is at first, when this game got announced, I was very intrigued because I'm a massive horror fan. But on top of that, when we finally saw the official reveal for this game and really saw what it really encompassed, that is something that when I saw, I got really intrigued by. And so what I wanted to go ahead and do in this first segment of the show is talk about everything that we want in the medium. And when I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinions and thoughts here, and I would love to hear yours in the comment section down below, whether you agree or disagree with some of the things that I want out of the medium. So let's get into it. So to start for me, guys, when we talk about The Medium being a psychological horror game, obviously, guys, being able to see different, how they're going to kind of be, how we as the player are going to be able to traverse the world between what we're, what's reality versus what is, this kind of other dimension that you're walking through. And they kind of show that in a split screen format in this in the trailer that came out for this game. And so what I really want to see, though, is I hope that it's really fluent between the two. Is it going to be that we're going to be seeing like that split screen a number of times? Is it going to be the entire game? Is it just going to be when we choose to switch between the two? What I think this is going to create, though, if you're able to switch between the real world and, of course, the other dimension, I'm wondering if you're able to switch between those two, if this is going to be something that there's a multitude of different playthroughs that people are going to want to do just to see like what if there's anything that they're missing from one, from being in the real world to this fictitious, or not necessarily fictitious, but this other dimension. That's something that's going to be really interesting. And so I'm really interested and intrigued to see how they decide to do that. Is this going to be something that's going to have, a multitude of different playthroughs? Is it going to be something where you're going to be able to play with other friends? Like someone's going to be able to control the other dimension, whereas you're playing as, in the real world, or vice versa? That kind of is other things that are really interesting to myself. One thing that I want with The Medium, though, and I say this all the time, guys, when it comes to any of these, titles out there, I want there to be a multitude of different ways that we could connect with the medium. So I always call it a full package. And when I state that, guys, I'm saying that I want there to be a campaign, a full-blown campaign, which is obviously what the central focus is, at least at this point in the medium. I want there to be co-op modes. I want there to be modes that we can play with our friends together. And I want there to be multiplayer elements to this as well. Whether it be, you're able to play with your friends and go up against in a PvE setting, going up against waves and waves of enemies, or if we're talking about just PvP elements where you're playing against other people in different dimensions and such, I think there could be some really interesting and intriguing, game styles and mechanics if they decided to do that. So I definitely want a full package out of the medium. That's just my opinion. I'd love to hear yours about that as well. But then, of course, guys, for me, I definitely want there to be a variety of different environments or locations, different enemies, different ways in which that we can traverse the world. And from what it looks like, guys, the graphics are great for the medium, at least what we've seen so far. And it looks like there's a multitude of different environments and such from what they showed us. Very dark, eerie types of environments, which is totally cool by me. It's a psychological horror game, so I would be expecting that. But I'd also like there to be different, kind of different tones throughout the course of the story, different places that you're exploring and such, so you can really start kind of connecting with this world. It doesn't just seem like a dark, dreary world, but it's also, there's different light elements to it as well. I think having a little bit of a balance, even having more dark elements will make more sense just because it's a psychological horror game. But I want there to be different, environments that we're exploring, different, locations, different types of enemies, guys. I don't want there to be the same enemies that we're going up against consistently. I want there to be different characters that we're also able to, kind of learn more about this world as we go through the story. And so those are some big things to me as well. When we're talking a brand new IP, that being the medium, and I think it's really important that Bloober team, they really knock this title out of the park. I mean, I think it's really important that having that full package, like I stated, is going to be really important for them, because they're going to want people to come back to the game over and over again. They're going to want to try to build a fan base around this so that they can continue making continuations of the media moving forward. That leads me to the next thing, guys, which I'd really like to see a very nice-sized campaign, a long campaign. I don't want this just to be like a 5-6 hour experience. I want this to be a pretty long experience that we're like in this world, understanding everything that's going on here. And many different ways, like, side missions and other things that we can do that can kind of build upon that legacy and lore that they might be trying to build here with the medium. I think that'll be really important as well. And, lastly, guys, for me, this is a game that's coming out later this year. It's supposed to be slated for December of 2020. And, one of the other things that I would really like to see out of this title is, having some, elements of it. You could technically say that the medium is free to play if you get Xbox Game Pass, even though you pay for that as a subscription. But I think having an element or two of the medium that is free to play for everyone would be really cool. Whether we're talking, the PvE elements, whether we're talking about PvP from a multiplayer perspective, having some free to play elements to the medium could really perk people's interest, getting people to at least try it and see what it's all about. And that could actually get people to try the full, story and everything else that's included within the game as well. We just look at so many AAA titles nowadays, guys, between Call of Duty and, Fortnite, all these different games out there that have free-to-play elements or are fully free-to-play, that we see how big those fan bases are. And I think that would be something smart for the medium here, because there really is a massive, following around horror games. It could be something special if you added some free-to-play elements to it. But those are the things, guys, that I want to see out of the medium. Let me know what you guys want to see out of this game and this title. Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more of the medium content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. CrossfireX is a very popular game, guys, that is now going to be getting a campaign. And, after we saw some of these reveals and everything that kind of is encompassing this, new take almost on CrossfireX, or, this campaign within that universe, I got really excited, to say the least, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about everything that we know so far about CrossfireX coming to us, in the foreseeable future for Xbox. It's going to be something that might be pretty special, so let's get into it. So this is an article, guys, written by Zachary Body of Windows Central. Another huge PC title makes the jump to Xbox. Crossfire is an incredibly popular first-person shooter franchise that's mostly played in Asia. The game is known for intense free-to-play online multiplayer that pits two teams against each other and has amassed over 650 million players, making it one of the most played games of all time. And you know what, guys? It's crazy, but CrossfireX, I had heard of it, of course, but at the same time, it was not a game that I thought was as popular as it is. And I mean, because you think of like the big popular titles, even like over in Asia and such, like League of Legends, Dota, games of that nature. But CrossfireX, guys, this is a massive title that has a lot of potential, even from a perspective of like an esports title. And this is a game that has garnered a lot of interest, especially over in Asia. And I'm sure it's going to be even more popular than ever here in the United States. CrossfireX, the radically new entry in the Crossfire franchise, is making a big statement in many ways. The largest is that it's coming to Xbox consoles, including the Xbox Series X, for the first time ever and before everywhere else. Now, CrossfireX is the next entry in a long-running franchise that has incredible popularity in Asia and other countries, and has gathered a large gathering of loyal players to its free-to-play multiplayer. CrossfireX promises to be bigger and grander than its predecessor and take advantage of next-gen technologies and power, combining its traditional free-to-play online multiplayer with an all-new single-player campaign. CrossfireX looks to make an exciting entry into the next gen of gaming, and this is a huge move, though, for Xbox getting CrossfireX, guys. as far as being able to get this as a title that's going to be coming to Xbox. And then, from a campaign perspective, I'm super excited about it. From multiplayer, it's already free to play. I cannot wait to see what it's like on Xbox. I think it's going to be something really special. Now, who is developing CrossfireX? So CrossfireX is being developed by Smilegate Entertainment, the studio behind the original Crossfire, and will be published by Xbox Game Studios on Xbox consoles. However, the single-player campaign portion of CrossfireX is being co-developed by Remedy, the studio behind games like Control. Assumably, so Smilegate Entertainment can instead focus on the multiplayer, which is awesome. Remedy is going to probably do a great job, in my opinion, with this campaign. At least when we look at like Control and what they were able to accomplish there, this could be something really special. This gives you those vibes of like Call of Duty, guys. This could be a title that really competes against some of these other first-person shooters out there. Whether you're talking Call of Duty, whether you're talking CS:GO, this looks like one of those titles that could certainly compete in the space. Now, what do we know about the multiplayer for CrossfireX? Crossfire sees players join one of the world's two most dangerous private military factions, Global Risk or Blacklist, and battle it out in a variety of fast-paced game modes. Gameplay-wise, CrossfireX seems to share some similarities with popular tactical shooter Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but with its own unique twists and mechanics, with the widespread selection of weapons and gear to choose from. And then there's also expected to be a lot of game modes to choose from, since Crossfire aims to be accessible to FPS fans of all types, with a special focus on team-based play rather than solo hunting. However, the most interesting part about CrossfireX is that despite its next-gen optimizations and fluid multiplayer, the game will be free to play, a free-to-play title that anyone can download and jump into as long as they're subscribed to Xbox Live Gold. That's huge for Xbox, guys. This could be one of their biggest titles, to be honest with you guys. This could become one of their biggest titles. This could surpass Halo, surpass Gears of War, surpass, if the or the Fable reboot does really good. This could be a huge title for them. Now, as far as the campaign is concerned, guys, very little is known about the campaign for CrossfireX. Beyond that, it's being co-developed by Remedy, as single-player content is new to the Crossfire franchise. Fortunately, the official Xbox page and the newly released reveal trailer from the Xbox Game Showcase shed a little more light on the campaign than we had previously. So CrossfireX will further explore the why behind the conflict between Global Risk and Blacklist and let players dive into the global war that erupted between the two factions. According to the official Xbox page, CrossfireX's single-player campaign will feature stories and missions from both sides of the conflict so that players can see different perspectives on this intense international confrontation. Now, will Xbox Game Pass support CrossfireX? The multiplayer for CrossfireX is free to play, so there's no reason for it to make an appearance on Xbox Game Pass. As far as the campaign is concerned, the recent campaign revealed trailer told us the single-player experience will not be on Xbox Game Pass, unfortunately, and will be sold separately. This is understandable, as while CrossfireX has a close partnership with Xbox, it doesn't come from a first-party studio, so they're not under any obligation to support Xbox Game Pass day one. So, look, Xbox Game Pass, I've stated in the past, guys, this is without a doubt the best service in all of gaming, and it is at this point. It's not even close. Now, it's understandable that this isn't going to be exclusive, or it's not going to be something that's going to, you can get Xbox Game Pass and play the campaign. But at the end of the day, what's going to bring you back to the game over and over again is the multiplayer, and that's free to play for everyone, which is absolutely huge. Now, will other platforms like PC and PlayStation get CrossfireX? Right now, CrossfireX is only officially confirmed for Xbox One and Xbox Series X, with smart delivery ensuring you're always playing the best version of the game for your console. There's no official confirmation right now that CrossfireX will release on PC alongside Xbox, despite the original Crossfire being a PC-only title with massive success. But don't let that discourage you. Xbox and Smilegate Entertainment have been careful to call CrossfireX a console launch exclusive, which means it'll only be Xbox exclusive at launch. Even if Xbox comes a little before, I'd be shocked if CrossfireX didn't become a staple FPS title for PC down the line, and I 100% agree with that. PlayStation, it's hard to say, but I would say it's absolutely going to be coming to PC. Now, what is the release date and the price for CrossfireX? So the exact release date for CrossfireX has not been revealed yet, but that's not to say we've been completely left in the dark. CrossfireX should debut on Xbox sometime in 2020, including existing Xbox One consoles, making it a perfect launch title for the upcoming Xbox Series X. CrossfireX will even support smart delivery, so you'll always get the best version for the console you're playing on. As far as pricing is concerned, the multiplayer segment of CrossfireX will be completely free to play, so there's no purchase necessary to get in on the intense online action the game offers. There will be a separate campaign experience new for the franchise, and it looks like it'll be a paid experience included in a premium battle pass at launch. So, like I said, guys, this has the makings of greatness. CrossfireX really does, in my opinion, have a ton of opportunity, a ton of upside here. I mean, from what we're talking about, this coming to Xbox, it's huge for Xbox. If I were Xbox, and since Halo Infinite got delayed, if I were Xbox, I would be going all in with CrossfireX, saying this is the launch title. This is what we're bringing to the table with CrossfireX. Even though it's not an exclusive to Xbox, at the end of the day, guys, it's coming to Xbox One and Xbox Series X officially to start, and so that's a big deal. So I would be using that as for marketing purposes. And, you know, at the end of the day, this could be something that competes against Call of Duty. Probably not right away, but over time, I think it could compete with Call of Duty. It could certainly compete with, you know, other games like CSGO and such. I mean, I just think that this is a title that could be something really special in the future. But I would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about CrossfireX, and what do you guys think about it coming on to Xbox One, Xbox Series X to start? And this is going to be a fully free-to-play multiplayer experience. Let me know what you guys think. And for more CrossfireX content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is obviously one of my most anticipated games now of 2020 because, I mean, every year, guys, Call of Duty is one of my most anticipated games. I mean, it's in the big three for me, that being, you know, Call of Duty, StarCraft 2, and, of course, Gears of War are the three, you know, in my opinion, the best games ever made. And so, look, I want to talk in this segment of the show about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I want to talk about everything that we want out of this title. When I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions here. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree, but let me know in the comment section down below the things that you want in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So let's get into it. So, guys, this game has been confirmed as a sequel to Call of Duty Black Ops 1, and that's something that I'm really excited about. I thought that Black Ops 1 was great from a campaign perspective. The multiplayer was extremely fun. I'm excited about this. I really am. Now, at the end of the day, I've said it a number of times, and I'll say it again, that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I don't like the title that much. I would have much rather it been called Black Ops 5 just to kind of continue what they've already started. It just feels like almost we're going backwards here, but it almost feels like kind of a spin-off of Call of, you know, in the Black Ops franchise or the sub-series that in the overall franchise of Call of Duty. However, a title is not what's going to dictate whether the game is good or not. The gameplay, the mechanics, the story, all of those things are going to dictate how good the game is. And what I will tell you is this. I think it's a great direction for Call of Duty. I was a little bit skeptical at first, but after seeing, like, you know, the reveal trailer that came out for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, I'm 100% on board. I think going back to the Cold War, kind of the roots of what Black Ops is, I think that's going to be really special here. Graphically, it looks great. I'm excited to see, of course, the multiplayer experience and what that's all going to encompass, because that's what's going to keep you coming back to the game over and over again. We already know that Warzone is going to be continued as far as the Battle Royale for Call of Duty into Black Ops Cold War, which is exciting. So overall, I'm very bullish on Call of Duty for the long term, and I have been for a while now, but I'm incredibly excited about this title, even though I don't like the actual title of the game. But with that, let's talk about the things that we want. Number one, guys, I would love to see Alex Mason make a return here in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which would be something really special in my personal opinion. Seeing a return of this character, whether he's going to be the playable character, whether he's not, if it's going to be Woods or, you know, whoever the playable characters are, I'm hoping to see a return of Mason in some capacity or another. I would also like to see this campaign really, I mean, if it's going to be a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, I think that this could be something where, obviously, I don't know the exact direction that they're trying to go in here, but at the end of the day, from the story trailer, the reveal trailer that we got, there's obviously, a number of missions. It seems like, I'm not sure, the main villain here that they're going after was in the reveal trailer, or if it's actually, he's just kind of a pawn in the overall, what you're trying to do in this story. But nonetheless, I would like this story to be a little bit longer. Look, Sledgehammer Games are the ones who are developing, of course, the campaign. And I really want to see, Sledgehammer Games really make this a little bit of a longer campaign, because I always love playing the Call of Duty campaign. When I first get the copy of the game, I play the campaign first, and then I'll play the multiplayer. And so I really want to see them, have a nice long campaign, because it always feels like after 6 hours you beat the game. For me, I would love to see this as a longer campaign, even if that means like, you started having, other, some side missions or something like that. I think it would be great to have more ways to kind of play the campaign, because after that 6 hour experience, it's usually done. And I got to say though, that 6 hours are absolutely awesome. Generally speaking, there's been some of the Call of Duty titles haven't been that great from a campaign perspective, but Call of Duty does such a good job with campaign, so I would love to have a longer campaign here, because Sledgehammer is only focusing on that. For multiplayer, guys, look, we're going to be getting boots on the ground, which is amazing. We definitely don't want to go back into the dark ages of COD, which was the jetpack era. So I'm glad that we're going to have boots on the ground, most likely some really gritty, just combat and such. I would love there to be prestige mode to return for multiplayer. I think that is a staple for Call of Duty. I would love to see prestige mode return. I think Call of Duty, Black Ops, or Treyarch, I should say, does a really good job of like the prestige emblems or icons and such. I just think there needs to be more reason to prestige. And so that would be another thing I would want to see in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, is more ways in which like you get more rewards. There's some really cool emblems, some things that you can only get at like the 10th prestige or whatever, kind of like what they did in Black Ops 1 with the 15th prestige like emblem, which was really cool, or the title, which was like the moving 15th prestige title and such. Like that stuff was super cool. And then like in MW2 you had the 10th prestige medallion. Those are things, guys, that bring you back to the game over and over again, because you want to earn those things that are earnable over payable, which is the next thing I want to talk about, is having earnable items, earnable things that you can get within the game that are, even more coveted than the things that you can just pay for. I think is really important, guys. They're going to have microtransactions in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, but I just want there to be more, earnable items than payable items. And then that leads me to the next thing, guys, which of course we plan on having a zombies return. And I would love them to make a kind of a little bit of a twist here on zombies. And I know this might be controversial to a lot of you who play zombies out there, but one thing that always bothered me about zombies was you would play the waves and waves and waves, and after you die, you would start all over again. I would love there to be like a save kind of feature where you can save your progress and you can just keep going and keep going. Or you can beat zombies, which would be really cool as well. Having, that I think would be awesome in zombies. Similar to like Extinction. When we had Extinction, guys, that was one of my favorite like co-op modes that you could play with your friends, was Extinction, because you actually could beat it, and that was something really cool that I really enjoyed. But something like that would be really cool with zombies, just to kind of change it up a little bit, or even have like a couple of modes, like traditional zombies, and then the new type of zombies where you can save or you can actually beat it. And, honestly, guys, I really want to see as far as weaponry is concerned, I do want to see some, returning weapons from Black Ops 1. I also want to see some new weapons, more sniper rifles. I love sniping, guys, so that's something that would be, something I would really like to see, is some snipe, because from Black Ops 4, the sniping, I like the sniper rifles, but they just weren't a lot of times very effective in my personal opinion. And so I'd really like to see more of an emphasis on sniping here in Black Ops Cold War. And then on top of that, guys, I think, as I stated, having those earnable items, like, and, having some really cool camos on those, on your guns is really important in my opinion as well. I thought that Modern Warfare had some of the weakest camos in all of Call of Duty's history. And so I'd like to see, having some cool camos that you could get on your guns and such. Just more and more ways, guys, that you can connect with this title is going to be really important in my personal opinion. From campaign to multiplayer to zombies to Warzone. All the different ways that you can connect with this title is going to be awesome. And I just really, lastly want to see the developers make a conscious effort for the Call of Duty League, which is the esports side of Call of Duty. I really want to see them make a conscious effort to do the things that the league is wanting to do, and like the changes. Don't just focus on, the multiplayer elements, don't just focus on Warzone or whatever. Focus on the things that, the Call of Duty League needs as well. Having a competitive playlist would be absolutely great once again here, like a league playlist would be absolutely huge in my personal opinion. I'd love to see that as well. But those are the things, guys, that I want to see in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And I'm sure my list is going to continue as we get closer and closer to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But I want to hear yours. What are the things that you want to see in this title? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have a real conversation about it. And for more Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. I've stated on the YouTube channel in the past that the upcoming Fable title looks to be one, guys, that could be something really special. Coming out on, of course, guys, the Xbox, and as a, exclusive to the Xbox, I've stated in the past that this is a title that, and a franchise that was definitely one that I kind of put up there with like Gears of War and Halo when we talk about the console or the exclusives for Xbox. Fable is certainly one of those, and it's kind of been on an indefinite hiatus for a period of time. Now with the reboot officially confirmed, I wanted to talk about everything that we want in Fable and this Fable reboot, whether it's called Fable 4 or just called Fable, whatever they decide to call it. I wanted to go over everything that we want. And as I said, guys, once again, when I say we, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions here. Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. Let me know in the comment section down below, though, what you guys want to see in the Fable reboot. So let's get into it. So guys, for me, I obviously want there to be, similarities, but also differences from, the trilogy that we got to now. I want there to be like those similarities, like the silliness that is Fable, a lot of the decision making, just there's a number of different things that make Fable what it is. And I want those things to kind of stay, but I also want there to be some differences. And, there's been a vast amount of speculation and talk about this upcoming Fable game and what it's going to include, what it's not going to include. But I'll tell you, one of the biggest things, and I say this all the time, is having a full package is a very important deal when it comes to these titles, especially when we're talking, Fable's finally coming back. This needs to be knocked out of the park, in my personal opinion, by Playground Games. And so when I say full package, I mean a full campaign, which is obviously what we're probably going to begin. That's going to be the focal point, but also having co-op and, of course, multiplayer experiences. And I think having all three of those things makes this a very intriguing package, a way in which it brings a lot of people back to the Fable franchise. And then after it brings people back, it's going to keep people there, or at least a lot of people there, if there's more things to do outside of the campaign. When we look at campaign modes, guys, a lot of times, the campaign itself, you'll play it, and after you beat the game, you might move on to other games. But if there's other ways to connect with the title, that being co-op and multiplayer modes, you're going to keep coming back over and over again to playing the title. And that's really important in my personal opinion. So that's a huge part. One of the most important things to me is having a full package here with this Fable reboot. But I also, like I said, I want to see similarities. I want there to be, some similar or, familiar characters, familiar enemies, familiar locations and environments. But I also want there to be those differences, guys. And I think we can probably agree that it looks like there's going to be some differences from the original trilogy to this game, just by the scenery, from a graphics perspective. Who knows? It's hard to tell just from a very quick trailer that they gave us, that reveal trailer that just showed us, very quick snippets of this Fable universe. But I definitely want there to be new enemies, new locations, new characters, new environments that we're able to explore upon. I want this to be the biggest Fable game ever made. And I want it to be something where we're able to explore and just dive into this thing and be able to explore so many different aspects of it, so that it really builds upon the legacy, the lore that was started. And now it's like a new vision, a new, kind of a new direction for the Fable franchise moving forward. The next thing for me, though, guys, is I want this game to set up the next generation of Fable games. Whether we get another trilogy or this is just a game that's going to be here for the next 10 years of Fable and they're consistently updating it and servicing it and such, that being Playground Games, regardless, I just want this game to set up whatever's to come next, because I don't want Fable to come out and then, it ends up, kind of not necessarily getting stale, but just over time, we don't ever really see, continuations of the franchise moving forward. I want this to be something that if it's not going to be serviced for the next 10 years, I want this to at least be here and kind of set up what is to come in the Fable universe. Because like I said, this is a staple in gaming, and this is certainly one of the biggest staples for Xbox, in my personal opinion. It's a huge game that's going to, kind of really help Xbox with their console exclusives and kind of giving people more reasons to buy the Xbox. And so with that, guys, the next thing for me is, having free-to-play elements to Fable, this Fable reboot, I think is going to be really important. And when I say that, obviously this is going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. This will be a title that you'll be able to, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you just get to play it for free. But for those people that don't have Xbox Game Pass or kind of want to dip their toes in the water, so to speak, I feel that it's important that maybe the multiplayer modes are free to play. Maybe some of the co-op modes are free to play. The co-op missions and such are free. And I think that those things really help kind of, bring people in so they at least try the game out. And then if they really enjoy it, they might get the whole game, the full version, play the campaign and such. That's why, you look at all these big AAA titles out there that have free-to-play elements, like, Call of Duty Warzone is free. You've got, Valorant to Fortnite to all these different, BR titles, but even games that are, just going to be having, free multiplayer, like Halo Infinite having free multiplayer. Those are ways in which, guys, where there's it brings people in, they at least try the game out. If they enjoy it, they'll stay playing it. If they don't enjoy it, then they'll move on to something else. To me, though, guys, it's very important that Fable has some way, shape, or form that there are free-to-play elements to this title. And at the end of the day, I think that could really help it grow in a major way over the next couple of years. But with that, guys, those are the things that I want to see in the Fable reboot, Fable 4, Fable, whatever it's going to be called, guys. I got to say, I'm really excited about it. I'm just glad that Fable is making a return to Xbox as an Xbox exclusive, and I think it's going to be a huge title for them. It could really reclaim its, former glory, so to speak. I'm excited about it, and I would love to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about the Fable reboot? What are you most excited about? What are you skeptical about? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's have a real conversation about it. And for more Fable content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of The 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.